don't think I've ever seen a game do this. On December 19th, the Steam store was reduced to an error 404 for about 3 hours. Not because of a review bomb, not because somebody DDoSed the servers, but because people wanted a new Space Block game really bad.
But I want it now!
This is Space Engineers 2, the sequel to the original Space Engineers with a lot of changes. For those of you who aren't familiar with the cosmic canvas that is painting your dream spaceship into reality, in the original Space Engineers you could build functional spaceships with blocks. And when I say functional, I mean you can come up with some serious Geneva suggestions to fight people with. Thing is, it's precisely because this game's player base puts the military-industrial complex to shame that made me think the sequel might not succeed, at least at first. Because when I saw the teasers for the game, I noticed a distinct lack of weapons on all the epic spaceships being shown off. In my mind, this registered as a flag because combat and PvP is a core part of the Space Engineers culture. And when I say culture, I mean it. I have played on several servers with various takes on PvP, ranging from small factions to large national superpowers, and I know people from many more. When I say that winning the art of combat drives the vast majority of the advanced modders and scripters in this game, games are not what I am playing. Space Engineers is literally just like the US military. It keeps getting more and more creative with all the different ways you can deal psychic damage to the enemy.
Take that, sir! Behold, a grown man weeping like...
Because of this, my thoughts were that if the game wasn't starting up with some kind of combat provisions, it would lose a lot of the momentum that created the community in the first place. However, my concerns turned out to be ill-founded, because not only will they be carrying the fixed Gatling guns over to the first slice of the alpha, the game also uses a unified system that replaces the small and large grid concept with a scalable building system. That also means you can mount Gatling guns to your large grids directly instead of having to MacGyver some jank rotor mount that drives your OCD nuts as it slowly shifts your ship to starboard by 0.01 meters per second for no goddamn reason at all. They also tripled the speed limit and gave us oil-blooded folks some freedom units for it, so we're not stuck trying to find the answer to the question of what the fuck is a kilometer? Add that to ship parts that actually fragment and take up space after being shot, and you'll never feel better about blowing up your beautiful ship. And speaking of ships, the other thing I worried about was that the spacecrafts that players have made over time are integral parts of that SE culture. We all have builds that we tell legends about around the fireplace, and people aren't going to want to rebuild them from scratch. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's why I was really happy to find out they'll have a blueprint import tool that will bring over as much of your old designs as it can. And if those imports still require the horror known as a field modification, the copy-paste experience has been improved, and they have an undo button and a redo button. Kiss your mistakes goodbye. Oh, and speaking of horrors, did I mention they're going to add water?
Let's drop some lead on those motherfuckers.